Elections have consequences. Elections have consequences.
Hey, hi everybody. Good evening. Sandra Schaefer, host of Racing the Races. So I did put out a flyer earlier that I was going to have two special guests on with me. Christine Sanon-Jules, a community leader and activist, and you're going to see that she's out there helping Gay Valamont in U.S. Congressional District 1, whose election is on April the 1st. So when we planned on doing this like town hall type thing, we didn't know that she was going to have this opportunity to go and work on this campaign and try to get, flip the house on April the 1st in Florida. So she's there. Naomi Blemur had like a bit of an emergency, so she's not able to come on with us tonight. So we are going to still talk about the immigration issues. However, we're going to have another show that we can fully dedicate to that topic because it's so important. But because that election, Gay Valamont's election, is on April the 1st, which is Tuesday, and we're like in crunch time. And I love that I see that the Dems are getting involved and they're putting in the time and putting in the work. So we're going to talk about that today. And we're also going to, we'll bring up the immigration issues, but we're going to give Ms. Sanon-Jules an opportunity to tell you about why, if you know anybody in the Pensacola area, or she going to tell you the other cities, for you to get them to be supportive and try to go vote or see how they can lend a hand to help us flip the house.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Awesome. So, yes, I drove 10 hours to make sure that I did my part, okay? And listen, it was brutal, but it was worth every second because we've got to win this on April 1st. I'm really excited to see Gay. She has a town hall happening right now in just a few moments. We've also got honkin' waves that are happening. We've got canvassing, phone banking. There's something for everyone. So we need all hands on deck. So that's number one. Number two, I know that this was originally about the immigration crisis, but getting a win in District 1 and in District 6 will help us with our immigration crisis. Why? Because we will be able to take back the House. We can stop Trump, and we can take back our dignity, right? We can take back the power once we have the House. We can stop all of these crazy executive orders dead in their tracks. We can challenge them. So what I need everyone to do is to get involved. And you can do that from home, or you can make the trip like I did. Oh, I think you're muted.
I need to unmute myself. Okay, so the executive order point that was just made is very important. Because you know what other executive order this man just signed today? It's an executive order to try to have an impact on voting. He signed an executive order today to try to have an impact on voting, to say that when a person goes to vote, they have to prove that they're a citizen of the United States. Mind you, in order for you to get a voter registration card and for your name to show up on the voting roll, you kind of had to already show that you were a citizen of the United States. And that's why they would allow you to just show up with your driver's license, because it's already in the system that you're a citizen of the United States. But part of the reason why I think he signed that today is because of the momentum that's happening in both Florida and New York. Because if we win the 2 seats in Florida and that 1 seat in New York, we can flip the House right now and not have to wait until 2026. And so I think they saw the writing on the wall, and now they're going to try to suppress everybody's vote, make it all difficult. Because, some people probably don't have their birth certificate at the house. They for sure probably ain't got no passport. And are they going to be able to get those things in the next couple of days? Probably not. No. If this man is trying to make that happen before April 1st. So because they're trying to do all of the terrible things that they do, that shows you that this is important and that this is making impact, and there's some momentum that they're afraid of, that they got this man signing executive orders today that has to do specifically with voting. What are your thoughts, Christine?
There's more of us than there are of them. That is it. There's more of us, right? So everything that the Republicans do is very strategic. And they're banking on the fact that we are not going to equip ourselves with the knowledge and the wherewithal to fight for our rights, right? They're banking on that. You can make a decision right now. That's why I say it's all hands on deck. You're right. We don't have to wait until 2026. The one thing that they can do to sort of silence us is to take away our right to vote. We can't let that happen. And this man thinks that he can just run an entire country on executive orders. Why? Why does he think that he can do everything on executive orders? Because he knows that half of America, probably 75% of America, would never agree to half the things that he's doing. So he's acting like a lone ranger in this. If he truly believes that these are the best policies for America, then put it for a vote on the floor. Do it the proper way, but he won't do it. I need everyone to sound the alarm on this, because our voting rights, we fought way too hard to get our rights to vote. Way too hard. People died, literally, for this right to vote. And if we allow him to take away our power, then we honestly have no excuse, because we didn't show up. And so I need everybody to show up, period.
And everybody is everybody, right? Not just the two black ladies that you see sitting on the screen, not just the 92% that voted in November. We need all of the rest of those folks that are living in regret in this moment, right? We need all of those folks that's living in regret in this moment to show up. And if you can't vote because that's not the area you in, you better call somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, and go sit in that can vote in those areas and send them to vote. Because having regret on April 2nd ain't about to do us no good. And some of us, I ain't gonna say a lot of us, some of us don't want to hear it no more, because we're like, we did our part. We tried to warn you. You didn't want to listen. You're now listen. Anybody, right? So part of the reason why I'm gonna say something about CD6 for a minute. So in the other district that's open in Florida is Congressional District 6, where Josh Wheel is running, right? Yes. He's running against the Andy Fine. I know his last name is Fine, right?
Yes,
and
Randy.
That's the seat that Mike Waltz left, right? You know why? You know who Mike Waltz is? Mike Waltz is the guy that was doing like war secrets in a signal text message stream and sent the text message stream to a reporter. That's the guy, right? So that's the seat that they're fighting for in CD6 right now. I hope I'm not wrong with that. I think I'm right, because I think I'm right. But
You're
that's
right.
The guy who's trying to do war secret work in a group chat, right? And y'all know the group chats is a problem anyway, because you always end up saying something about somebody that you forgot was in the group chat. So group chat's a problem, but this man is trying to do national security business in the group chat. So that's the one that came out of CD6. So this is the point I really want to make. So the Republican that's running in that seat, the man was so comfortable that he thought he didn't need to go raise no money to run. So he had like $500,000 in the bank. The Democratic candidate, Josh Wheel, has raised $9.7 million to run in that seat. That's a person that's taking the job seriously. That's a person that wants to get your vote, that wants to go there and do the work. So he went out and fundraised and been on the streets getting people to come and show up. So I'm going to tell him Wildcats again, because that's where he donate. Daytona, Bethune-Cookman College is over there. So y'all need to tell all the people, go vote for him. So the Republican there thought it was a given, and he was like, I ain't even going to do nothing because I'm going to just get this like that. And we're going to show him that, no, you should have been doing the work. You're not doing the work. So because that sounds like when you get to DC, you ain't going to do no work either. You understand? You're going to go there and do nothing. And we don't need that.
Listen,
and plus, another reason to not like him, let me just say one more thing. Another reason to not like him is he just got elected in November in Florida and abandoned y'all to go take this. So we'll need that. So go ahead and get Josh. So go make Gaines pitch for me.
I was gonna say, like, I belong to a group chat for my kids' soccer team, right? You don't do a group chat when you are exchanging classified information. Like, that's not how you do it. And so when we talk about qualifications for representing our constituents, representing our country, we really have to look at the way people move and operate. And if they're moving foul as a state House member, they're going to move foul as a United States House member as well.
Mhm.
So we really need to shout out to everyone in that area, the Bethune-Cookman area. I mean, we have enough, there's enough college students that could probably flip this thing. We
Yeah,
need
because
everybody to show up.
we need everybody because it's a non-presidential election, and we know on the off elections you don't get big voter turnout. You get anywhere from like 8 to 15% voter turnout. So you don't even need no 200,000-300,000 people to show up. You need a good 50,000. Make sure they all Dems or Republicans that realize that they made a mistake. They realize they made a mistake, and they just gonna try to stop the madness. And so we don't all have to wait until 26. Because what has happened in the last 2 months and 1 week is enough that y'all can't tell me y'all won't mow this at least for another, what that is, 21 months,
You made a good point. You said Dems and Republicans. Everyone can vote for Josh. Everyone
Yes.
can vote for Gay. Everyone. Republicans, Democrats, non-party affiliates, independents, Green Party, Libertarians. I don't care what you are. If you are registered to vote, you show up and you vote for Gay and you vote for Josh, and we flip this house and we take back our power. Period.
Yes, absolutely. Because again, some people fell for the lies that was told to them in November. But as of January 20th, the man showed you who you was. The first day, what did he do? He basically said those people that was on the Capitol on January 6th did absolutely nothing wrong, and he pardoned every single one of them and commuted the sentence of the rest of the people, right? So if you want to be like, I'm going on what he did from 2017 to 2021, okay. But since now, like the things he's just done right now that's in your face, that you don't have to even use no long memory to pay attention to or remember, should be enough for you to be like, you know what? I can't cut in Medicaid, Medicare.
Right.
We live in the state of Florida, y'all. Come on now. So y'all about to let him try grandma. We got kids that are special needs. So you about to mess with the Medicaid system to do what? To protect Elon Musk and Tesla? Like this can't be what y'all trying to do. So Republicans, they've shown you that they don't care about you for real. They've shown you that they do not care about you, because in South Florida, that went red. South Florida, what I should just say Miami-Dade County, went extremely red. But now they can't find their congressional members, right? Where's Jimenez? Where's Diaz-Balart? Anna showed up to something and was with the him and the hind. So y'all voted for them people and y'all can't find them because they know what they're doing is foul. But they should still be able to face you, right? So all of them need to lose their job in 2 years. But we have an opportunity to take over, slow their roll, slow them, stop them in their tracks practically right now, and we should do that.
And speaking of our members of Congress, I just want to let you know, and by you, I mean everyone that's watching, you can call them. I call every single day. And my ask right now this week, the calls that I've been making to Diaz-Balart, to Salazar, to Jimenez, and even to Congresswoman Wilson, is we need someone to go into the Crone Detention Center facility. It's a federal facility. Our federal representatives can go in and check out the conditions right now, see how these people are living. There's no way that you can tell me that this is humane. And all because of what? Because Trump promised on the campaign trail to get rid of migrants? Not like this.
And he couldn't do it. So so I'm a practitioner of immigration law, right? And when he was saying that, we like, how you gonna do that, bro? Can't do that. It's too many people. You ain't got enough space. That ain't gonna work. And it's true, because there's a report that came out. So I'm gonna talk about that one. That Crone was built for about 500 people. There's about 4,000 people there, right? And I'm gonna tell you, I've been to the facility, and I walked in one of those rooms, and I'm like, yo, this smells, right? And one of the people that I went to see apologized to me, because they're like, yo, I'm sorry I smell like this, because I've been here 11 days and I've only bathed once. Okay.
My God.
So they apologized to me, and I was like, listen, I understand. I heard that. I know that. So it is like that. They're any space, they have people sleeping in them, standing in them, because there's no room in the actual rooms with the beds where they're actually supposed to sleep. So they're all over the facility, and those is facts.
I know. I drove out to the Chrome Detention Center. I saw the report on Instagram. I drove out at midnight. I spoke to the guards there. I said, hey, I'm clergy. That's a long story, but besides the point, I used my credentials to try to get in there, and they said they discontinued any religious services because there's no space. And the guard says to me, he goes, it's bad in there. And then I was able to make a U-turn, go out, and he's like, you can stay over there if you want to pray. I sat down and I went on live and I said, this is bad. For the guards to say that it's bad in there, that there's no space, not even to go in if you're clergy, to pray, that they had to discontinue it. And the thing that upsets me is that all of that are members of Congress. They have jurisdiction. They can go into that facility and shut it down.
I want to say a couple of things about the congressional piece, right? So I have a person that was detained, and the person should not have been detained because they have temporary protective status that's not expired. They didn't submit an application and waiting on it. They had an approved application and wait on it. Right? They have an approved application. I reached out to the congressional members in their district because I can't do it in mine. I have to do it in the district where they live, right? They told me they can't get involved. It's like, yo, can't do nothing about it. We don't got nothing to do with that. If there's some form stuff, we can do it. But they're like, no, we cannot help with detention. I'm like, but this person is being unlawfully detained. They're like, nope, we don't do that. I was like, well, your website say you do. Well, we don't know why I say that. We can't do anything about it, right? Straight up. And this, I'm not making nothing up. This is what I was told. And it kind of went back and forth to the point where I spoke to the supervisor in that office, and they were like, we can't do nothing with that, right? That's one. And then I got calls from Durbin's office out of the state of Illinois and someone else that said that they will see what they can do in that instance. I don't know what they did, but what I'm saying is the person is still there. So they haven't done anything. Because one of the things about this is that because they have weaponized and made immigrants out to be bad people, and that's the thing. When you could call someone an immigrant and forget that that's a human being that's attached to that word. So because they have made people who they say is undocumented, and that's a whole bunch of nonsense because there's so many. They're just throwing a whole bunch of folks that are not lawful permanent residents or citizens into this undocumented category. And it's really not an accurate statement that's being made. There are a lot of Democrats who are more concerned with being reelected than actually doing the work that they were sent to do, that they don't want to get involved in it because all they're thinking about is my next election cycle. Republican that's going to run against me is going to be like, oh no, that's that Democrat that was trying to free those immigrants or something like that. And they're worried about that instead of like, you know what? I was sent here to do a job. And if that means that I'm not going to get reelected the next time, at least I'm going to be on the right side of history. I'm going to go over there and do what my people sent me to do. You know that this is humane. You have humanity. If you're a believer, any type of person of the book, whatever your religious faith is, but if you're a person of the book, you have to know that what's happening here is not okay, right? So instead of relying on that, they're over here doing like, I'm worried about whether or not I can get reelected in 26, and if some Republican is going to go say something about me that will go viral, and then they're not doing the right work.
Well, let me tell you this. I want everyone to take a look at how much Gay has raised and how much Josh has raised. The people are angry. And the elections that are coming up in 2026, Democrats that are not performing should be afraid, and Republicans should be afraid, because now the people have taken over. This is not just a party thing. This is not just, oh, the Democrats are pouring all this money into these races. No. The people are pouring the money into these races, and they will be replaced. And if you are a Democrat that is so concerned about your position and keeping your power, but not showing up for the people, not willing to put your neck out on the line to help those that are suffering, you will be challenged. You will be primary.
And should be challenged.
Yeah.
And should be challenged. Absolutely.
We're holding everyone accountable, period.
Yeah. Yeah, because this is on another level bad. This is on an absolute another level bad. And those senators too. I mean, they may have a little bit more cushion because most of their seats are like 6 years. But the ones who are up, of that 10 that voted on this mass spending bill that was in the Senate,
They need to
Listen,
go.
if you're up in 26, you're gonna have some problems, bro, because
Yeah.
that is absolutely ridiculous. Because you cannot go after Medicaid, Medicare. You know, they're taking away $1 billion for like programs to deal with children at lunches and stuff like that. They're closing the Department of Education. Who does that? Like this country already reads on a grade level that's between fifth and eighth grade. Y'all ain't in no position to be trying to give people less education. The student loan programs, those of us who tried to like go get an education, and we wanted it so bad we were willing to borrow money in order
Yeah.
for us to do it, to the point where like most people can pay back the amount that they borrowed, right? But what happens is the amount that you borrow ends up doubling and tripling because of the compounding
Yes.
interest and whatever. So you borrow $40,000 and next thing you know you owe 90. You be like, well, how the 40 turn into 90? And that's what it does, right? So there was Biden and them had put in a program where they allowed you to, like, if you are working in a certain in public service and like nonprofit space or like with government, you would, they would help you. You would pay for 10 years and then they would dismiss rest of it, which usually the rest of it is just the interest part, not that you didn't pay back what you owed. It's usually the interest part. Now they're saying, no mas, we're not doing that anymore. This is all problematic. There's no way you want an uneducated society unless you're looking for people to control.
Exactly. Exactly. And the thing is, we have to understand that this is not just like propaganda. People are not just spreading lies. These are facts.
Mm-hmm.
They want you to be uneducated, unhealthy, unemployed, on everything, because they want to be able to control you. But what I want to reiterate to everyone is that the power is in your hands. We have hope. We have a choice. We have 2, 3, because we also have a New York election that's going to be coming
Yeah,
up.
Elise Slotkin's seat is up in New York. Elise Slotkin, she left. She also left her seat to go be part of the administration, and her seat is up.
People get so caught up in the drama and forget that there's strategy behind change. There's strategy. It's not just about venting. We have to start playing chess. We've been playing checkers for way too long.
Mm-hmm.
Say, okay, this is our end goal. We want to get our freedom back. We want to get our rights back. We want to bring back our education and our even the weather. Like, they're dismantling everything. We want all of that back, these protections that help us thrive as a community, as a country. But the way to do it is to strategically flip these seats.
Yeah. And one of the things, and it's important too, and one of the reasons why we really it's 1,000 reasons why we want to flip these seats, but some other reasons is that we need to slow down what's happening, right?
Yes.
You cannot have somebody that's going to rubber stamp everything that he says that he wants to have happen. I mean, there talks about, when they first started, they're like, oh, we're going to try to get rid of birthright citizenship. We're going to try to stop everybody from like being naturalized. If some people have, because again, we're trying to bring back a lot of some of the immigration stuff. What they're doing right now is like, even when you're a lawful permanent resident of the United States, they're refusing them entry back into the United States.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't, you can't, well, if you have a lawful person, you can't do that. I mean, when I say lawful, I mean like if you have a person in power that respects the law, you can't do that, and you don't do that, right? But if you have a lawless person, someone that may have been convicted for like 34 felonies and stuff like that, they don't care. I mean, when you have a person like that, then they will do things that are against the law because clearly they don't care. And the folks who voted for them made it seem like they don't care that he's a felon either. So he's like, I'm gonna just do whatever I want. But that can't be okay, right? You can't. Those people who are lawful permanent residents, they did what America required them to do in order for them to get status in the United States. And now that's starting to be like, just go ahead and wipe your, like that ain't no good either. That's a problem.
If your government can strip your legal status and make you illegal, right? What makes you think that your government will stop there? They're not going to stop at migrants. At any point, any of us can be stripped of our legal status to be here.
Mm-hmm.
We have to take this seriously. This is an attack on our freedom.
Absolutely.
It's an attack on our constitutional rights.
Mm-hmm. And one of the other reasons why you want to get rid of Mike Johnson, because in the news today, the man basically said they want to try to find a way to get judges to stop telling 47 he can't do what he's trying to do. But remember, like when you were like in fifth grade, maybe
Checks
even
and
third grade,
balances.
checks and balances, equal branches of government, like they're supposed to make sure one ain't doing something that they ain't got no business doing. Like that's how America really was supposed to work. This dude right here talking about like, I just want to do what I want to do and I don't want y'all to say nothing to me. That's why he's signing executive orders,
No
because he's
kings
taking,
here.
huh?
We don't have kings.
You understand? So he's doing executive orders because he doesn't want the legislators to legislate. He don't want the judges to tell him what to do, which they're supposed to interpret laws and be like, yo, that's kind of not what the law say. So he's trying to be the courts, he's trying to be the legislator, he's trying to be everybody, and that ain't how this country's supposed to be, and we can't allow that. And the fact that the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, is allowing this, that's why those 3 seats, the 2 in Florida and the 1 in New York, need to flip, because you know what that does? That makes Hakeem Jeffries the Speaker of the House, and Mike Johnson loses his job, and that will be effective next week. We need to make that happen.
Yes. Please, please, please. I love that. That right there. We need to make it happen. And it happens on April 1st. It's not a joke. Okay?
It's not a fool's day.
It's
Now,
not,
it'll be a
there's
fool
no
if
fool,
y'all.
there's no pranking. There's nothing.
It'll be a prank
real.
if y'all don't let this happen. Now, that's going to be the foolish thing to do.
We gave you guys the weapons, and by you guys, I mean like the American people. We gave you the weapons for you to make the change, and it's on every one of us to make sure that we flip these seats.
It is. It is. If you know anybody in that area, call them, tell them to vote. This is important. This is like some straight up, like serious business right now. Because if y'all can't tell me you ain't got some anxiety and that you probably not checking with your doctor, be like, yo, do I need to get medicated? Because I'm like constantly stressed and I can't figure why. You know why you stressed? Because even if you're not watching the news, when you just see the headline, it just makes your head hurt, right? You try to watch like 2 minutes of the news, you be like, Lord, I can't. I was like, well, I just want to read what the story is about. I don't even want to read the story, and all your stress levels is going up. That's because of who took office on January 20th, right? And not only that, because he wouldn't be able to do the things that he's doing unless he's allowed to do them, right? And he's being allowed to do them by the Speaker of the House, which we can get rid of on Tuesday, April the 1st. And you should get rid of him on Tuesday, April the 1st. And of course, the Senate, right? And then some of them did, they did the nonsense they do, but they all need to lose their job. And that's for real, right? Because the people realize that these folks that you sent to go do work for you decided that they want to go work for themselves, they want to work for their friends, they want to go work for their billionaire donors, even though them 1, 2, 3, 13 billionaires ain't enough people to get them elected, because they only got but 1 vote, just like you. So make your vote speak louder than the 13 people that's out here wreaking havoc on everybody,
And I will say this, I teach at a school. I teach a mentoring program. This week was spring break. I dropped my kids off at my brother's house for a few days, and I'm spending my spring break here in Pensacola because it's that important.
It is.
I want you to understand that I have not been able to sleep. I have not been able to, I've had a headache for the past 2 weeks. I'm like, I need to get checked. This is stressing me out. And so I could not sit back and just stay at home and watch it on the news. I had to come in and I had to put my money where my mouth is. Instead of telling everybody to go out and be the change, I decided to be the change. You can too. This is my plea to everyone that is watching. Get involved in these races. Please, you have until Tuesday. Find a way that you can fit yourself in. You can reach out to me. I don't care. You can find me at Christine 4FL. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Facebook at Christine FORFL. Please, we can do this, but we can't do this alone. We've got to do it together.
Absolutely. And so the reason we're going to cut this short, because there's a town hall at 6:00.
Yes.
That Congresswoman Frederica Wilson is doing. There's a phone number that you can call, or you can go to her house page, right, and watch it. I think it's like a listen type situation on her house page. And I do have the phone number, and I'm going to look at it right now and tell you what it is, right, because I have the flyer courtesy of Miss Sanon-Jules. She sent it to me, and I did post it on my page. So there's a call-in number of 866-295-1797. That's 866-295-1797. That's the calling number to listen to the town hall that Congresswoman Frederica Wilson is doing. She's supposed to have Van Jones and a whole bunch of other people. And I'm also going to tell you that Sui Chang is on there. She's the executive director of one of the immigration nonprofits, one of the bigger immigration nonprofits. So I suspect that the Congresswoman is going to talk about some of the immigration stuff that's going on. So go ahead and call in to 866-295-1797, or you can go live stream at wilson.house.gov/live. Okay. And that's starting like right now. So we're going to wrap up and make sure you go and check that out. Is there anything else you want to shout out before we go?
I actually do. I want to say thank you to you, Sandra. You are in this. I mean, you're not only as a profession because you're helping migrants, but you don't have to have this show. You do this consistently every week to bring this information to our community. And I just want to thank you for you're doing work. And without you, a lot of people wouldn't get this information. So thank you. Thank you for having me on. I'm a huge supporter. I am here. Whatever information you need, I will send it.
Yes, I truly appreciate that. And, we're going to go ahead and listen to that. And depending on what was heard, I may come back because we were supposed to have another person on the show. But like I said, they had an emergency. If they want to talk about it afterwards, like it's from 6 to 7:30, we can come back, do a little talking, because what we need to do is definitely get Gay and Josh elected and whoever's running in New York for that Elise Slotkin seat, because we need to make Hakeem Jeffries the next Speaker of the House. That's going to be the historic win that we should have gotten in November that we didn't, but we can get it right now in April, and we need to make that happen. And it's for the democracy, it's for the country, it's for the people, it's for us to start to heal, it's for all things good. All right, it's for all things good. Okay, all things good. All righty, y'all. So I know you're getting to your town hall. I know you want to hop on that call and listen up. So I'm not going to keep you. And so we may come back on later and talk about this. If not, we're going to come on definitely before Tuesday, because we want to encourage everyone to make sure they go ahead and vote. Okay.
All right. Bye.
Yes,
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, y'all. So we got Christine to come on. Maybe another time we'll do a show with Naomi. And then, but it's important. It's important. So you guys, if you know anybody in Congressional District 1, Congressional District 6, have them go vote for those Democrats, figure out how it is that they can help. Whatever they can do is important. Cookman, Wildcats, y'all could show up, show out. Y'all should be doing lives every day, trying to get everybody to go out in that area and vote, so we could at least flip that seat and see what we can do and go ahead and make this change. All righty. So good night, everybody. I'm about to hop on to Frederica's call. That's 866-295-1797. It's wilson.house.gov/live. Go check it out. See what she's talking about.
Elections have consequences.
Good night.